Well, Chet, hey neighbors, welcome to the Shed Shop and this edition of How To. In this video, I'm going to show you a redneck way to press the bearings out of your chainsaws. Steel chainsaw, Husqvarna chainsaw, any chainsaw you can use this concept on, you can do this with. They make special tools for pressing bearings out, and a lot of guys just beat them out. I had an MS441 where we had a hairline crack inside the oil channel that caused that side of the crankcase to be no good. I do believe somebody installed those bearings by beating them in. That's not good. Sometimes a little bit of tap, 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 light tapping, a little bit at a time is okay, but when you pound, 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 you're liable to mess up your crankcase. And since not everybody has the specialty tools to remove bearings, I, in fact, only have like 2 press arbors for steel chainsaws. And while that will do a lot of chainsaws, it doesn't do a lot of others. And it's unlikely that most of you trying to do this job have those tools, because you have to either be an authorized steel dealer, a certified steel mechanic, or you have to find a chit on eBay if somebody is once in a blue moon selling that chit. And the only other way is to be the chainsaw redeemer and have special connections, or be you with special connections. But I like my special connections. That being said, neighbors, what do you need for this job? Well, you need a bench vise, okay? And you're going to need sockets. I have here, I should have grabbed a little bit bigger one. A 1-inch works a little better. This is 15/16. It will work. And this is a 660. This is for neighbor Jason. Neighbor Jason has just sent me a picture of the computer that he is most likely donating to the Shed Shop. He has a gaming computer. It's several years old. However, because it's a gaming computer and he built it with a lot of good chit, it shouldn't be more than enough to do what we're trying to do with the YouTube, to be able to store our videos off of our SD card onto the computer so we stop losing footage, and also to be able to properly use our editing software, and to be able to have videos upload a little faster, even though my internet does me dirty. With the internet doing me dirty, I can't really have the computer doing me dirty as well. So we work out different barter deals, me and Jason, and he's got that MS880. And we lost a lot of footage on that saw. It's real unfortunate, but he's going to bring that out again another day, and we're going to try and get some more big logs, and try and get some footage of that saw yet again, since we've lost it. We have a little bit of footage up for you, but not very much. So you need your socket, and you need your bench vise. And on a lot of chainsaws, the flywheel side is a lot harder because you can't get it gripped in the bench vise. And so sometimes you just have to use different blocks of wood and various things to get it to work. So we will see what we can do, but we're going to start with our crankshaft side, and we're going to go ahead and remove this bearing. So we'll turn you neighbors over to the bench vise. So what we're doing now, neighbors, is we had to set a little bit of a jig up to keep our socket pushing straight. So this will twist if we don't have this wood in here. And I'm heating it up now because I started turning it tight, and it wasn't pressing. So heat causes metal to contract. And so if our crankcase and our bearing contract, it will help us push it out easier. And then when we install, yes, the cold causes the bearing to expand, but in order to get the crankcase in, the internal circle expands, and so you can freeze your bearings and heat your crankshaft up to do that part, especially on clamshells. But on these ones, we're just going to try and heat it up here, and hopefully that will allow us to press it out. Shall we give it a whirl, neighbors? There she goes. And again, the wood at the bottom is to prevent our crankshaft from going sideways. And I'm trying to see, am I clearing my clamp on here on my bearing? I am not, which kind of stinks. I'll just have to twist her up just a little bit. Lift her up a little bit, I mean. Shoot, I can't touch none of that. Chit. Chit, chit, chit. My socket is hot, so I can't touch it. That is kind of a problem. And now I can't get it in here. Damn. Dan, I'm going to need a hand. Okay, now that Dion helped me resituate that, let's go ahead and press our bearing out the rest of the way. Now it doesn't want to press. Damn. It's going. It's just slow. And this is why you don't beat it, because you would have to beat this sucker hard. Almost there, neighbors. And there we go. Good thing we didn't break nothing. That's one bearing out. Now for the next one, what we have to do is we need a socket that fits perfectly in there against the bearing. So we'll see if we have one. Okay, so for this side, since I am going right against where my crankcase gasket sits and not down here, I have put a rag there to protect that. I have a 5/8 socket, and as you neighbors can see, it fit right inside the hole, right against the bearing, and I have flipped my crankcase upside down, and so I don't have to use any kind of special jig or blocks or anything for this one. And so before we heat it up, we'll try to press it out, and if it doesn't come out, then we'll heat it up. I really should go get my pipe for this shit. Leverage, neighbors. She is going. And I don't have to worry about my clamp on the other side, on this flywheel side, because I'll show you. Fortunately, we didn't have to heat that one up. It's always kind of nice when you don't have to heat it up. As you can see, I had all this space right here, and there's our socket. Okay, I had all this empty space for my bearing to fall into. So that, neighbors, is how a redneck in the middle of the woods removes crankshaft bearings from his chainsaw. A bench vise, a few blocks of wood, and a couple of sockets, and some ass and elbow grease, and you can do it too, neighbors. You don't have to pay somebody else $300 to do that shit. Either pay me less that, or do that shit yourself. That's why I'll show you. Till next time, neighbors. Sorry I have to keep deep breathing. I hurt. Be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a battle. Like the video. Comment down below. Tell me what redneck ways you've used to press out crankshaft bearings. Tell me what ways you're using currently. And then subscribe to the channel and consider joining and becoming a member. Love all 8 billion of you. Even though I suck at it. Let's keep persevering, neighbors.